Yes, good evening, my friends, wherever you are hearing me from. The title of my sermon is Be Careful How You Use Borrowed Things. Chenjerera nzira yaunoshandisa zvinhu zvakakweretewa. I believe that you all agree with me that borrowed things have a big problem. When you've had an experience of driving a car for 10 years, 10 good years, you have an experience of driving a car. Then you come up with an emergency and you borrow your neighbor's car. When you have had 10 years experience with a car and it has never had a problem. But by the time that you start using somebody else's car, konapo, within just 1 minute, that car has a problem. Be careful how you use borrowed things. So which means when you don't have a problem, but borrowed things have a big problem. So with regards to that account, my title of the sermon tonight is saying, be careful how you use borrowed things. And we're going to learn from 2 Kings chapter 6, verse number 1 to number 7. So I'm going to read in your hearing. The Bible says, Now the sons of the prophets said to Elisha, See, the place where we dwell under your charge is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan, and each of us get there a log, and let us make a place for us to dwell there. And he said, Go. Then one of them said, Be pleased to go with your servants. And he said, I will go. So he went with them, and they came to Jordan, and they cut down trees. But as one was felling a log, his axe fell into the water, and he cried out, Alas, my master, for it was borrowed. And the men of God said, Where did it fall? And he showed him the place. And he cut off a stick and threw it in there and made the iron float. And he said, Take it up. So he reached out his hand and took it. Here we find the sons of the prophets during those days going to Elisha and said, Elisha, the place where we are dwelling under your charge above us is too small for us. I don't know, maybe they were growing larger in number, or it is because they wanted to be more comfortable, but that doesn't matter right now. But the problem, our main issue is now when they ask for permission to go to the Jordan. And Elisha said, You can go. But one just found it so necessary that the man of God, Elisha, should go with them to the Jordan. And Elisha said, I will go. Lesson number one, be careful whom you take to your journeys. Some people are with you, but they are not for you. You can have a girlfriend right now, but that doesn't mean that you should marry that girlfriend. Some people are just friends in your life, but it doesn't mean that you should wherever for the rest of your life. Some people are just there with you to help you get to your destination, but they are not really for you. Be careful whom you take to your journeys. So they take Elisha to the journey going to the Jordan, and they start cutting down trees. But as one was cutting down a tree, he realizes that the axe head was not connected to the axe as he had started cutting down the tree. The axe head had fallen into the water, and he cried out with a loud voice, Alas, my master, for it was borrowed. This man realizes now that the biggest problem is not that the iron axe head had fallen into the water. Because he had it been that problem, he was going to say, Alas, my master, the iron axe head has fallen into the water. But he said, Alas, my master, for it was borrowed. The biggest problem was that it was borrowed. Be careful how you use borrowed things, because borrowed things has a problem of just spiraling out of control in the hands of the borrower. I borrow you my bicycle. I've had 3 years experience with my bicycle, but when at the time that you borrow my bicycle, konapo as you start cycling, it says catcher, showing that the chain is broken. When you come to me and convince me the chain of my bicycle is broken, I will tell you that I've had 3 years experience with my bicycle. My bicycle does not have a problem, but you are the problem. Now, the children that you have borrowed to you by God. Be careful how you raise them. Unoziva chero sometimes zvakwidza so zvanyatsokukwidza wobvodza mwana wako kuti iwewe unezimusoro, iwewe mwana iwewe yaso dull, iwe mwana iwewe wakashata. The wife you have borrowed to you by God. Be careful how you treat him. The husband you have borrowed to you by God. Be careful how you treat him. Why am I saying this? Because at the end of life, at the end of the race, there is a God. At the end of the Jordan, at the end of the day, when you go away from the Jordan going home, there is a man with his hand stretched, wanting his ex back. At the end of life, there is a God who's waiting, wanting the life that he gave you back, wanting the fruits of how you used your life. There is a God who's waiting for you to give an account. What did you use with the borrowed life that I gave you? There is a God at the end of life wanting you to give an account. What did you do with the friend that I gave you? What did you do with the husband that I gave you? What did you do with the wife that I gave you? What did you do with the money that I gave you? Be careful how you use borrowed things. May God add a blessing to the reading of His word.